Nigeria's Senate has amended a controversial clause in its recently amended Electoral Act, which allows political parties to choose their candidates only through direct primaries. The clause, which is part of Nigeria's amended Electoral Act, was amended to permit parties to choose the mode of primaries they desire. The Electoral Act had been the subject of controversy in recent weeks.
What we have done today is to respond to the observations of Mr. President and the calls by our constituents and other stakeholders on the need for us to expedite action on addressing those observations made by Mr. President. And we have done that very, very patriotically. Today, as the bill stands, there is provision for all the possible options for selection of candidates from the presidency to the councillorship. The available options we have: 1, the direct primaries; 2, the indirect primaries; 3, the consensus candidature. What this means is political parties are now, once this becomes law, are now challenged to ensure that they choose what is appropriate, what is suitable for them when it comes to the processes of producing their candidates. I will urge that we should practice all these three so that we are able to develop them.
That right there was from the Senate President Ahmed Lawal. Now, the bill was refused assent by Nigeria's president, saying the decision by Parliament will weigh heavily on the finances of political parties and infringe on the rights of Nigerians to participate in governance. And of course, we have someone who will be bringing in more and will be giving his own insight on this. We have the chief researcher for News Central TV. We have Ahmed Latif in the studio. Good morning, Ahmed. Finally, the National Assembly has amended the Electoral Act, which has been one big one that has been on the front burner for a while now, especially as we approach 2023. How would you react to this?
Yeah, so it's a good thing to see that finally we have the Electoral Act getting amendment and getting sorted out by the National Assembly. What was of great concern all the while was that it took so long that there's a back and forth between the President and the National Assembly. We expected that since the National Assembly has, the ruling party has a majority in the National Assembly, the President and the parliamentarians will be in sync, knowing fully well the broad implications of these amendments that were proposed by the parliamentarians. However, it's a thing that we should delight about, because while there is an unusual unanimity amongst members of the National Assembly to have direct primaries, the President has said that he would rather have it open to the parties. Let it not be that it is one method, one process that is known to have party leadership emerge, or candidates that will be contesting in elections emerge. Let it be up to the parties, as it were. Either they want it to be direct or indirect or consensus, as the case may be.
All right, Abdul Latif, let me ask this. With this amendment now, what should we expect with the electoral bill? Looking at this amendment, what should Nigerians expect now?
Yeah, going forward, we should expect a broader engagement in terms of political liberalization, in the sense that we should not expect that the contending forces, mostly between, from before now, it used to be between governors of state who with a lot of power, parliamentarians who with also a lot of power. Now, understand that most of those that are in the parliament, a lot of them used to be either governors or ex-governors, or those who had stakes in their states. And so there's always this rivalry between governors and representatives, or governors and Senate members of the House of Assembly. Nigerians should expect that even if we know that the elections are near, it's going to be a very busy electioneering year, there's going to be census coming up, these issues will have been better addressed if the electoral bill has been sorted out before now. But yes, in the weeks ahead, INEC has everything, in its front to be able to work with. We do not expect that just a few months to elections will still be battling with what or how of the electoral process.
All right, thank you so much, Abdul Lateef Ahmed. We look forward to have a further explanation concerning this approval by the Senate. Most importantly, for Nigerians who have been clamoring for this amendment. So thank you so much for being here on Breakfast Central and helping us out with this.
Thank you for having me.